All right, today we are heading deep, deep into the jungles of southern Mexico, to the incredible Maya ruins of Palenque. We're going to uncover the amazing story of its greatest king and a secret that he managed to keep hidden for well over 1,000 years. You know, for centuries, this city was a powerhouse in the Maya world. Its original name was Lakamha, which means big water, and if you ever see the waterfalls there, you'll know why. It thrived for hundreds of years, from the 3rd to the 8th century, and then poof, it was just abandoned, left for the jungle to literally swallow it whole.
So you have to wonder, right? The ruins we can see today hint at the super dramatic history of war, total collapse, and then this unbelievable comeback. What in the world really happened here? What secrets are these stones still hiding from us?
To really get a handle on Palenque's golden age, we first have to go back to its absolute darkest hour. See, before the city hit its peak, it was brought to its knees. It was right on the verge of being wiped off the map for good. Just listen to this. This quote, it's translated from a stone carving made around the year 613. It says, "Lost is the divine lady, lost is the king." I mean, wow, it captures this feeling of total despair. Religious ceremonies just stopped. The whole kingdom was adrift, leaderless. What could possibly cause a crisis that bad? Well, the answer was a rival superpower, the city-state of Calakmul. Twice, once in 599 and then again in 611, Calakmul's armies just rolled in and sacked Palenque. That second attack, it was a complete and utter disaster. It plunged the city into total political chaos. The kingdom was absolutely shattered.
But, out of that chaos, a new leader was about to emerge. And it wasn't some fearsome warrior king. Nope, it was a young boy who would inherit this broken kingdom and somehow forge a glorious new future for his people.
His name was Kinish Janab Pakal, and get this, he took the throne when he was just 12 years old. I mean, think about that for a second. A kid, basically, tasked with rebuilding a city that had been crushed by its enemies and was in complete disarray.
So how on earth does a 12-year-old manage that? Well, for the first 3 years, his mother, Queen Sakkuk, actually ruled his region, and she stabilized everything. Then, in 615, Pakal's own reign began, and it would last for 68 years. That's one of the longest reigns in world history, and it kicked off Palenque's golden age.
Under Pakal, Palenque wasn't just rebuilt, it was reborn. He was a master builder, transforming the city with some of the most beautiful and elegant architecture the Maya ever created. The central palace was massively expanded, new alliances were made, and the city absolutely flourished, becoming a real power in the region.
But Pakal's greatest project, his masterpiece, was for himself. It was a monument that would tell the story of his dynasty and hide his biggest secret from the entire world for more than 1,200 years. He called it the Temple of the Inscriptions, and Pakal designed this pyramid to be his own tomb. Its walls are just covered in these incredible hieroglyphs. It's actually the second longest text ever found in the Maya world, and it records 180 years of the city's history. And for centuries, that's all anybody thought it was.
You have to understand, for centuries, the experts, the archaeologists, they all thought that Maya pyramids were totally different from the ones in Egypt. They believed they were just ceremonial platforms for temples on top, not tombs. Well, Pakal's temple was about to prove them all spectacularly wrong.
And that brings us to one of the greatest moments in modern archaeology. So let's fast forward to the middle of the 20th century, where one man's hunch was about to completely rewrite the history books.
Okay, so it's 1949. An archaeologist named Alberto Ruslo Hillier is up in the temple, and he notices something weird about the floor, a stone slab with these little holes in it. He manages to lift it, and boom, he finds a secret staircase. But it's been intentionally filled to the very top with tons and tons of rock. For 4 long years, his team cleared that passage, digging deeper and deeper into the pyramid. And finally, in 1952, they hit the bottom.
Can you even imagine the moment they broke through that final wall? They found themselves in a crypt filled with these incredible sculptures. And right there in the center was this massive, ornately carved sarcophagus. When they opened it, inside were the remains of a king, just draped in an unbelievable amount of jade, including this absolutely breathtaking mosaic death mask. It was him. It was Pakal the Great.
This discovery was a complete bombshell, a total game changer. It proved, for the very first time, that Maya pyramids could be royal tombs, just like the ones in Egypt. It turned our whole understanding of Maya civilization on its head.
And check this out.
One of the weirdest and most fascinating features of the tomb was this hollow stone tube. It ran all the way from the sarcophagus up the staircase to the temple floor. It's called a psychoduct, and inscriptions call it a white breath road. It was basically a channel for the king's soul to journey out of the tomb and into the afterlife. So cool.
But the story doesn't stop with Pakal. The discovery of his tomb, well, that was just the beginning of uncovering Palenque's secrets, because the city's final chapter, and maybe its greatest mysteries, were still yet to come.
After Pakal and his sons, Palenque's power started to fade. In 711, it was attacked again, this time by a city called Tanana. By about 800 AD, all the big construction projects had stopped, and within just a few generations, the great city of Lakamha was empty, left to be swallowed by the forest for the next 1,000 years.
Okay, get ready for this, because this number is just mind-blowing. After all these years, after all these incredible discoveries, like Pakal's tomb, archaeologists estimate we've only uncovered about 5% of Palenque. 95% of it is still hidden under the jungle. Just let that sink in. That means that under this green canopy, there are still over 1,000 buildings just waiting to be found. Palaces, temples, houses, an entire city still asleep. The story of Palenque is so far from over.
Which really leaves us with one final, incredible thought. If a discovery as massive as Pakal's tomb could lie hidden for centuries inside the city's most famous building, what else is still out there? What other kings, what other treasures, and what other secrets are still waiting for us right now beneath the jungle?